Hey everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides in the universal energies. Had to take a breath halfway through there because I've just done a reading involving the felon, and whenever we do readings on felons, the lungs all get all cloggied up. Okay, what I want to have a look at in this particular reading, I'm just going to mention a few things first up. Denise Knight did a brilliant reading on the 1.776. That wouldn't be a no kings number, wouldn't it? The Anti-Weaponization Fund, brilliant reading. Hop over to Denise Knight's channel, KNIGHT, and check it out. My attitude, I haven't looked into it, but my attitude is that if it is ever authorised, there will be one check and one check only, and it will be made out to Orange J Felon. the January 6th people won't see a skerrick of it. Now, also in news is the fact that just be aware the IRS have not awarded the felon any money. What has happened is he's agreed to drop the court case, despite the fact that the court case actually couldn't proceed because the statutes of limitation had expired, from what I understand, or were about to expire. So he's agreed to drop the court case in exchange for the IRS never, ever investigating him, his family, his family's companies, his companies, anyone associated with his family for forever and a day. And apparently the head of the IRS, who is a felon appointee, has agreed to that. Well, yeah, that might hold for a couple of years and then it'll be overturned, but just be aware of that as well. What else has happened? Ashley St. Clair, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I did post it in my post section. Check out my post section because I do put a lot of extra stuff in there. But I'm not going to read on Ashley St. Clair because Rosie from Rosie's Insights did a great reading, although at the end she was very anti the fact of Harris taking an Attorney General role in the future. I keep getting she'll be offered the Attorney General role. It's completely up to Harris. Yes, absolutely she deserves the presidency. I totally agree. But what Harris chooses to do in the future is completely up to Harris. But I also noticed Laurie from The Way of Positive Change has done a reading. I haven't seen Laurie's reading yet, but on the Ashley St. Clair as well. So go and check it out. And while I'm talking about it, I'm using the Tarot Grand Luxe. Love this deck. I've loved it ever since I've watched Danny Shea use it. And I finally got around to buying it. And as I was talking about Ashley St. Clair, I've got the Two of Coins, which is my vote flipping card. And we know what Ashley St. Clair brought forward about the vote flipping. And then I've got the Star, which is the Star of Hope and Healing. The star of bringing something forward, or it could simply be Starlink. Yep, Starlink with its vote flipping. So we'll just leave that there. Speaking of vote flipping, what do I want to have a look at? I want to have a look at Bolivia. Why am I going to Bolivia? What a strange place to go. I actually, for some reason, I thought, Bolivia in Eastern Europe. No, it's not. Bolivia's in South America. Duh. So yeah, my geography is not that great either, but at least I know how to use maps and find out where it is. So Bolivia, a country in, why am I going to Bolivia, you ask? Well, let's go there. Bolivia is a landlocked country. It's landlocked by Peru and Chile on one side, and if you go over the mountains, I believe on Brazil and the other. In 2006, a gentleman by the name of Evo Morales, now I'm sure I've pronounced that wrong, please do not correct my pronunciation, it just drives me nuts when you do so. You know who I'm talking about. So Evo Morales from the MAS party was voted in. He was very much a progressive Mandami type person, so very much for the people, for equality for the people, and he at that time nationalized the Bolivian gas and lithium industries, mining, etc. And declaring them strategic resources. Gee, I wish other countries like Australia would do that, but that's beside the point. Declaring them strategic resources and nationalising the industry. What happened is it pretty much then tossed out the US interests. So we're talking about 2006. This would have been under Bush, if I remember correctly. So tossed out the American companies that were pretty much controlling the gas and lithium industry. What happened then, because they nationalised it, and then the government created new outlets for selling, because what was happening was the US companies were pretty much selling it for peanuts to the US. The Bolivian government orchestrated new contracts for those that would pay more for the product, and the trade revenue from gas and lithium in 5 years rose from 173 million, which was the mates rates by the American companies to America, to 1.5 billion within 5 years. So shows how much Bolivia had been ripped off, pretty much by $1.3 billion a year. So that happened within 5 years. Right. In 2019, Evo, there was an election again. I mean, would have been one in the middle as well, but a couple in the middle. He re-won with the MAS party, and they were continuing along this building this infrastructure and jobs for Bolivians and healthcare systems and social security systems, etc. 2019. Gee, I wonder who was in the White House in 2019. What happened is that there became cries from within the US in the regime at the time under the Organization of American States, OAS. I have no idea why they have any right to make any sort of declaration, but there was this huge outcry from this fraud, from this organization, OAS, of that there was massive fraud in the election. Gee, where have we heard that before? Massive fraud claims by the Felon administration at the time, backed up by this Organization of American States. Pretty much they came down really hard, demanding new elections and demanding access to the resources, US industry to have access to the resources. What happened there that was such an overpowering campaign, and I'm pretty sure the CIA would have been involved in there somewhere, because they're really good at overthrowing governments in South America and across the world. Evo Morales was driven out by the unrelenting pressure. What happened is a person by the name of Inez, Jeannie, not sure how it's pronounced, again, don't correct me, Inez was installed. And so there was mass protests at the fact that, mass protests that Evo had been forced out, and the US industries were moving in again into the gas and lithium. So there were massive protests about what happened. And this Inez, who was installed, brutal clampdown on protesters, absolutely brutal. Just, you know how they go. Google it if you want to find out. So the latest election, what did we have then? We had, so in 2020 there was an election, and a guy by the name of Luis Arce, was elected. He was a MAS party. He was Evo Morales's followed along in Evo's socialism, for the people, by the people, etc. So what happened is that it was very much about for the people. US under the felon drove the leader out, installed their own who tried to clamp down. Elections were held as demanded in 2020, and the people voted again for a progressive socialist party and leader. So that was in 2020. What happened then? So pretty much the people spoke up. What happened then in 2025? Gee, I wonder who was president in 2025 was the next election. So they must have had them every 5 years or thereabouts. 2025 was the next election. And what happened was that the Orange Felons regime choice somehow won. Oh dear, how did that happen? Called Rodrigo Paz. So what he's pretty much done is he's sold off the national assets again that had been taken back by this MAS party way back in 2006. Started selling off the assets. Stripped labour protections for workers. Pretty much the standard of living has plummeted. Inflation's gone through the roof. Fuel has gone through the roof. And what's happened is then the quality of the fuel apparently is so rubbish that it's internal combustion engine vehicles and generators are breaking down because the dirt in the fuel is so bad. Okay, so what's happened is that the people of Bolivia are rising up again. There's been a general strike since the 1st of May, so that's been going for 20 days now. Apparently, Rodrigo Paz is in hiding. Now, this is what really, really, really needs to happen in the US. So, yes, you had a protest on the 1st of May. Where has it been since? But this is what's happening in Bolivia. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to pan out. And what have I got? I've got the Ace of Swords coming forward as I split the deck. The deck was like that. I split the deck. The Ace of Swords. The truth, the legal standing, the reality, uh, the people. But I'm also drawn to the fact that we've got the eagle up here as well. Now, I don't think that's the bald eagle, the American eagle. I think that might be a South American eagle plunging the Ace of Swords in. And the Ace of Swords usually cuts through a crown and brings that crown down. So I want to have a look at what is happening in Bolivia and the future of Bolivia. Because there's regime, US regime stench all over this. Harvesting of votes and the Five of Swords, the abuse of power, the betrayal, the win at any cost deceit. Because I don't think Rodriguez Paz actually won the election. Gee, I wonder who does vote flipping. Gee, I wonder if there's Starlink down in Bolivia. It's all unraveling, but let's have a look. A false victory here. So this is the Six of Wands, a false victory. I've got the Four of Pentacles, trying to keep four. It is the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. I was looking at this thinking it was a pentacle. The Four of Pentacles, trying to keep something under wraps about a false victory. However, bruised, battered, trying to hold the line, but being defeated. It's the Nine of Wands, but it looks like he's sitting on a pentacle here. So this is potentially about the vote. And if you want a vote flipping card, there's the Two of Coins again. So I really think there's judgment. Judgment at the bottom. Collective awakening, a wake-up call. I'm actually going to pause you for a second and just have a quick look to see whether Starlink was involved in the Bolivian elections. Hang on a sec. Why am I completely not surprised? So, apparently, one of the first acts that Rodriguez Paz did once being installed was agree to approve a license for Starlink, for a Starlink network in Bolivia. Gee, no shock surprises there. Also, if you want to know that even more that it's involved with the felon, 10th of March, the Bolivian, the article in the Financial Post, the US welcomed Bolivia back to its sphere of influence last weekend. It's just got, what's that? Inflation at 17%. I don't know that the US will be that far behind it soon if it continues down the path. But yeah, it's got dirty fingerprints all over it. But let's have a look. So the people are revolting. Absolutely. And Paz is gone in hiding. So how are things going to go for the people of Bolivia? The people of Bolivia. I mean, they actually were going really, really well under the MAS party. Didn't take long for things to turn to custard. Let's have a look. The protesters in Bolivia, how will things turn out for them? Like mass protests, like ousting Orban style protests. They know, the people know. How are things going to turn out for protesters in Bolivia? Come on down, let's have a look. Right, the Page of Coins. Interesting first card out, because when I'm talking about elections, coins mean votes. So this is youthful energy. First of all, looking at the financial issues, because 17% plus workers' rights stripped, plus selling off all the assets that belong to the people. So really looking at the financial situation here. This youthful energy, and I'm not just saying it's not just the youth, but this new energy, messaging coming forward about, could be votes or it could be the financial situation. Let's see where it goes. Page of Swords, challenged by the Page of Swords. It's my whistleblower card. It's bringing forward information about the truth. About truth. You've got here at the foundation, the energy that they're stewing in at the moment is the Seven of Cups. The smoke and mirrors, the delusion, this is the energy that Bolivia is stewing in at the moment, is this smoke and mirrors, shell game energy, Seven of Cups. In the past, we've got the Ace of Coins. There was big money to be made. They couldn't, the powers that be couldn't steal the Venezuelan election. Then this is one reason why the orange idiot, the regime, despise Brazil's Lula da Silva so much, is because they couldn't manipulate that particular election. But we've got here in the past big money to be made by stealing the gas and lithium from the people of Bolivia. But this could also be a big moment in the past about the votes. What you've got here, crowning this reading, is the Chariot. Chaotic movement forward. Protests, very much so. Right, you've got the Hermit. An investigation being launched. A light being shone in the dark about an investigation. You've got the Five of Cups, the emotional regret, the loss, the regret, the heartbreak, but there's two cups still standing here with that Five of Cups. We've then got the Knight of Wands, volatile information being brought forward. Queen of Swords, This could be in the hopes and fears. Could reflect on what happened to Harris with the information coming out, or this could be powerful a feminine leader, a female leader coming forward and leading the legal charge here. The outcome, the Nine of Cups. Be careful what you wish for or wish fulfillment. The Six of Cups, the contracts in the past. Wanting to go, so the Six of Cups, wanting to go back to what was. And the Lover's card. I'm going to say this is a balanced agreement here. Often it comes through in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck as an unbalanced agreement, but this feels more equal footing, the Lovers. And then we've got this Ace of Swords energy. And then we've got the World card, something being brought to an end, the end of an era. You've got the Nine of Swords, the nightmare situation. You've got the Temperance card, the alchemy. You've got the trying to defend the position, the Devil. The Page of Cups, something unexpected being brought forward. The Four of Swords, it's going to force a retreat. The Moon card of those that did wrong. And somebody is going to be walking away as the gates are opened and things are revealed. Okay. This is looking good for the people of Bolivia, but it's very much telling me that there is something untoward that needs to be revealed about the last election. So show me. I'll leave you down so you can see me shuffling. Show me. Show me. Well, we've got Temperance and Judgment there. A return to stability, perhaps after this real collective awakening moment. Was the last Bolivian, was the 2025 Bolivian election manipulated? Was the 2025 Bolivian election manipulated? I mean, they do like the regime does like to call fraud, like really loudly. Strength. And then they sort of lay claim to the fraud. So therefore, if anyone else says it, we've got the Magician, strength of manipulation. Was the 2025 Bolivian election manipulated? And the Emperor. 3 major arcana. And the Emperor. I'm going to say yes. Very strong manipulation to install the Emperor. The gift from the past. The Knight of Coins. To provide financial access to those that were overseas. Fast turned into a nightmare situation for the people. You've got the Page of Swords there and the gates opening to move forward. I'm going to say, yeah. There's the Knight of Swords, a harsh truth being brought forward about the harvesting of votes and those that were in league with the devil. They're going to be seen. You've got the King of Swords there, and you've got the World card bringing it to an end. King of Swords, perhaps legal action or just action bringing forward the truth and bringing this current Bolivian regime to an end. Right. So yes, I'm going to say yes, there was very, very strong manipulation to install the emperor's choice or their own emperor. Let me just put it that way. Will there be evidence of election? Oh gosh, the emperor and the tower. The emperor is going to be torn down. Going to be torn down with the tower. Okay, is there going to be evidence of election interference? The government in Bolivia facing a tower moment. It was installed on false footings. Let's have a look. Will there be evidence of election interference? Yes. Ace of coins. Yes, absolutely. And there's my vote flipping card. And there's this information coming in from overseas, or this could be influence from overseas. I mean, the jester is on the sale there. The jester from overseas, plan brought to fruition. The moon card, secrets being revealed, being investigated with the hermit about who was involved with the lovers card there. Page of Cups, something unexpected out of left field coming forward. Regret. And then the Ten of Wands, the overreach. As volatile information is brought forward by the Knight of Wands. And there's that Page of Coin again. New information being brought forward about the votes and a false victory. And there's the Five of Coins, the moral, financial, ethical corruption, but also look at how it's been changing hands, been caught and changed. Or just, yeah, ugh. And then you've got the Five of Wands, so 2 5s back to back. And there's my second card for vote flipping. The protests, vote flipping. The High Priestess, hidden agendas being revealed. And then you've got the Knight of Coins, mercenary actions, and the Ace of Wands, big stick moment. Okay, what I want to have a look at is when this information comes out, will it be, because we keep getting from overseas but can't work out where from overseas it was going to come from. When this is uncovered or exposed, and I'm feeling fast, the Hierophant, the harvesting of the votes to take government with that Seven of Pentacles. When this information comes out, and the Ten of Swords, when the truth of it comes out, Ten of Swords, ending, going down. But my question is, will it transpose? Yes. Will it transpose to the US election? Yes. Sun card. I'm going to leave that there. Ten of Swords, Sun card. Yes, it will. However the information is uncovered, the method of doing such, yes, it is. Just seeing what's next. You got the Ten of Swords. Underneath the Ten of Swords was the King of Coins, which is my Fleon card, the green King of Money. Now, the reason why he's green is, and Fleon, you know, Space Boy, the electric car dude, you know, him, the voter flipping one. The reason why I call it, why he's the Green King, is because he got his money from his father's emerald mine. That was his startup money. So these ones that say they were self-made, no, they weren't. He got, like the Orange Idiot, got millions from his father. What, $250 million or something? I can't even remember, whatever it was. Fleon's the same. His father owned a emerald mine in South Africa, I believe. and used slave labour in the mine, and that's where Fleon got his money. So yeah, absolutely, Fleon is behind this. Work going on behind the scenes with the Three of Pentacles that they want to try and keep undercover with the Four of Pentacles. It's just Queen of Cups, trying to keep a lid on it, but it is pretty much treasonous action with the Three of Swords. And then we've got that Queen of Swords coming forward. So yeah, yes, I'm going to leave that there. Oh, goodness me. So is Bolivia going to the Bolivian election, manipulated election? Is that the one that is going to be where the overseas information comes from in regards to the US fraudulating? I'll just see what's on the top. Eight of Cups walking away. Eight of Cups walking away. Some sort of agreement that was made with the Lovers card, and the Ten of Coins. Ending of the oligarchical legacy. Ending. Yeah, it's going to be an ending of the Rodriguez Paz installed government, because the next card was the Empress. She's very much about abundance for all and nurturing of the people. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Who would have thought? So yeah, my guides tell me to watch different things, and when they tell me, I can't look away. Okay, catch you shortly. Bye bye.